because I want to talk to you about. This is a different shirt than my thumbnail picture, but anyway, which I may change. I don't know if it'll stay there, but um, anyway, move this over to the side here. Let's see what I want to do with this so that it's not in the way. Let me just move it over there. Okay. So, today I'm going to be talking about the new moon in Pisces that is coming up in February 20th. Now, this officially begins Pisces season off with something brand new. And we've had this going on where, it started, we're at the very beginning, since this year we've had that new moon on January 21st and then the full moon in Leo. And then now we're starting over again. So we've really had the new moons or eclipses begin in signs, beginning that astrological season since quite a long time, over a year. There's a huge amount of, thinking that goes into that. But anyway, we've started the year with the new moon in Aquarius. The full moon in Leo was on February 5th. That was that whole cycle that we have dealt with. And now we're starting fresh because new moons are times to start fresh. They're times to set new intentions about what we want to manifest and what we want in our lives. And it's a quieter inner knowing of what we want. And it's a time where the sun and the moon align of where internally we truly know where to start that fresh new beginning, particularly in the house area that new moon is affecting. Let's say it's in your fourth house, new beginnings when it comes to, your home and family. Maybe, moving to a new house, maybe changing up the decor of your house. Maybe becoming more tuned to your emotionality. Whatever, it may be, with whatever new beginning in that particular new moon based off of the house that it falls in your chart, wherever your Pisces house is, which is based off of your rising sign, whatever it may be. So, your rising sign. So my rising sign would be Sagittarius. And so that would be my first house, Capricorn, the second house, third house is Aquarius, and the 12th house would be Scorpio. And you can apply that system to all the signs. So whatever your ascendancy or your rising sign is, then that's where your first house is. You can think of it that way, in terms of that house system. And so many astrologers use the house system when doing monthly horoscopes and individual horoscopes for new moons, full moons, and any other astrological event. When getting into it on an individual level, of what's going on for you personally. The houses are the different areas of your life, where the different sectors of your chart, where the themes and qualities of the sign, whatever planet the sign is in, and what the planet aspects, or whatever goes on, and how that shows up in your life, and what area of life that it shows up. In this case, what area of life are you going to find, and you can create the best new beginnings, and where you can really set those new intentions for those new beginnings in that area of life. So we take a more individualistic look at it through that lens. But new moons are times of reflection, going inward. Sun and moon are exactly conjunct. And this happens on February 20th. And on that same day, Venus moves into Aries. So Venus has been in Pisces since January 26th, and then Venus moves into Aries, which is a very different energy about, going after, what and who you want, and really, being daring, courageous, and confident in terms of love, and knowing what you want, knowing what you value, and wanting the adventure, and really admiring people who are initiators, who are assertive, who where the relationship has a lot of spice and stimulus, and keeps going, and there's really hot and exciting and stimulating love dynamics. Oh, and not so, you want sort of maybe a fun, maybe a, feisty, energetic, maybe an adventurous, and pioneering type of partner with Venus in the sign of Aries. But anyway, so just going to shut the blind here, because seeing I haven't changed my calendar yet. But still, I have my little reference sheet here, if I can get it there. If I can even see what I'm looking at. Let me turn the light on there, so that I can probably see what I'm looking at. So this new moon is occurring at 1:07 a.m. Central Time, and then 2:07 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, this is all relative to where you live in the world, and it's going to be happening at different times based off of your time zone. So it may be really beneficial for you to look that up of, whatever your time zone is when this will be occurring. But I just listed 2 time zones for you there. And so this new moon is readjusting this, because I'm trying to have this occur without having difficulty looking at this. So I may need to get something where I can do this more effectively. This is what happens when there's a live stream. I can't find anything. So what will have to occur is I will just have to, these are just some notes that I saw out here. Hold it. If only there was something that I could use to hold, if only there was something I could use to prop this up. But I guess, let me just see what will work effectively here. We're seeing what will be sufficient. Okay, I think that'll be fine. Okay, so this is occurring at 1 degree and 22 minutes, or 23 minutes of Pisces. And so you want to look for where 1 degree falls in your chart, especially, maybe even 2 or 3 degrees of Pisces, because this new moon is really going to be more significant for you if you have 1 I want to say 1 to 3 degrees, or 0 degrees, with Pisces, but also all the other mutable signs, which are Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces, of course. Those are the mutable signs. So this new moon is especially going to be significant for you and potent, of where you can really set those new beginnings, really strongly if you have planets or points at those degrees. And if where this new moon is going to really be, affecting you in that way. And so, the mutable signs. Mutable is, all the mutable signs are changeable and adaptable. They go with the flow. They don't, control, not about controlling situations like, the cardinal or fixed signs. The cardinal signs are initiatory. They take the initiative. They lead. They initiate the seasons. When the sun transits through those signs, it initiates the brand new seasons. It's fresh new beginnings, leadership energy. The fixed signs are, sort of stubborn, fixed, determined. There's a willpower, there's a strong quality to all the fixed signs. And then the mutable signs go with the flow, and they sort of, then go with the wind, with the branches on the tree, and how they blow in the wind, and then the tree trunk sort of, steady, stable, strong. The roots of the tree would be more, fixed, because think about the earth, especially fixed earth, which is Taurus. It's, solid. It's not changing. It's there. And so the earth deals with practicality. And so we have this going on. And so now let's get into Pisces. So Pisces is a water sign that is ruled by the planet Neptune, which is illusion, dreams, fantasies, going off in another reality. But it's also the planet that deals with higher states of being. Meditating, connecting to the divine. It also deals with having empathy, and genuine connection, and heartfelt and unconditional love for everyone and everything. And that is a huge part of what this new moon deals with. And Pisces is also the sign symbolized by the two fishes going in opposite directions, where you may have an idea where you're going, but it's not clear. Pisces comes before Aries, and while Aries wants there to be a target and a clear direction for where you're going, it's really straightforward and it's very direct. Pisces is really vague, and we sort of know where we're going, but we don't, because of how unconscious Pisces is as a sign, and Pisces deals with the unconscious, and Neptune deals with the unconscious. So it's sort of swimming in these directions, going, over here, over there, sort of swimming this way, that way, wherever the wind takes us, wherever getting swept by the current in the ocean, kind of thing. And, kind of reminds me, there was this scene in Willy Wonka, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the movie, I think, was made in the 1970s, where Willy Wonka, they were on the ferry and they were going through a tunnel, and they were seeing all these pictures and visions and things flashing by the children and their parents as they were traveling. And what ended up happening was, as this ferry was traveling, Willy Wonka, sang a song, no one knows where we're going, we don't know. And that kind of a song, for those who've seen the movie, you probably know or remember what I'm talking about. But that's kind of the energy of Pisces, is a kind of vague, maybe, mysterious, kind of foggy energy there. And it can lend itself to confusion and being, in a daze, and not having a clear direction at the low road. It can also be because Neptune is about, escapism, escaping this reality. And while there are drugs and certain methods of escaping, let's choose healthy methods of escaping. Let me see here. I had a So, Pisces is escapism also. And at the low level, it can get into drugs and unhealthy addictions because of the sensitivity that Pisces has to this reality. And Pisces is a sign that's really sensitive to everyone and everything, and it's certain vibrations and frequencies that people carry over. And it just deals with being sort of out-of-body experiences. It deals with the ethereal, being out of this world. Certainly not having your feet on the ground, in this reality, the logical mind, the analytical mind. During Pisces season, I would imagine that would be that it would be harder to be logical or want to be logical and take care of those little details. When Neptune goes retrograde, because Neptune direct can create delusions and not really seeing things clearly. But when Neptune goes retrograde for a certain amount of time, for a year, we can really see things more clearly and objectively, which is a really positive thing, because Neptune is sort of, I want to say, maybe this isn't right to say, but asleep in a way, of where its qualities aren't expressed as strongly as it would when Neptune's traveling direct. But so, it deals with, Pisces also deals with creativity, imagination, so we can do several things which really enhance, and we feel the inspiration to do things that are creative, such as singing, writing poetry, all those kinds of things. And so I spoke about this in the Leo full moon video, about whatever you view as creative. Pisces is a really creative sign. And Pisces is sort of about the right brain way of looking at the world, viewing the world. And so, anything creative where your imagination may be heightened, where, reading a story and imagining what's going on, watching a movie and getting swept up by that. And taking away and absorbed by that. Maybe also there, during a Pisces new moon, your intuition could really be heightened, and you may have a clear sense of where you need to go and what is not meant for you, of how should you approach this situation or this relationship. Heightened intuition as well. And so, also, spirituality. Pisces deals with spirituality. It's the last sign in the zodiac, so we're connecting to higher, states of consciousness and higher forms of consciousness, especially, the divine, um, and the invisible, the immaterial forces that sort of shape the form that are all around us, that we can take for granted in our modern material world that we live in. But let's not forget about the spiritual, because we were really created by a spirit, really, we're really emissaries of that. And Pisces is about, not being a victim, but co-creating whatever you want to manifest with spirit, where we're taking action, because Jupiter is in Aries, it's all about taking action, asserting yourself, and having the confidence and courage to assert your self and use your willpower. But then Pisces is about surrender to what you cannot control. And there's a quality of Pisces which deals with peace and acceptance, that kind of energy with Pisces, and it deals with releasing. Pisces deals with simply, sitting with your feelings, and any kind of burden or grudge or negative feeling or any hurt. Now's the time to really, in a way, release that and find it in our hearts to forgive anyone who has done us wrong, and where we can find peace and compassion for them in that kind of way. And Pisces deals with spiritual self-care as well. So self-care includes various spiritual practices, praying, meditation, um, and even, whatever you view as a spiritual practice. It is about doing things which are healing, cleansing, nourishing, and holy, and calming, and peaceful, and also grounding to you. That's what Pisces also deals with. And again, Pisces deals with unconditional love. It really deals with just that kind of feeling that we have for someone. Not only someone, but also a dog, or a tree, or just that kind of energy. That sensitive energy, that loving energy inside of us, on a soul level, of really wanting to go quiet, and of really wanting to spend time with this person, and connect with this person, and just hold space for, be in the company of, and have that relationship is probably going to show up in terms of the energy of the new moon. It's a watery, emotional, quiet energy, where we sort of feel like going inside of us, and it's a cooler energy. And I want to say the energy of Pisces is, in terms of temperature, I don't know why I'm saying this, but I would think that the energy of Pisces would be cooler in terms of temperature. I don't know. And it deals with solace. being, alone, the real value in reflecting and knowing yourself at a deeper level, of spending time alone where you're really sitting with yourself quietly, feeling your feelings, reflecting, going inside yourself, evaluating, and even, doing something, alone even, taking a break, going out, if you live in a city, going out into the woods and walking around, going on a solo walk, painting a painting alone, sitting, in your room and, just sitting quietly, maybe reading something alone, sitting outside quietly, whatever cleansing, calming activity that you can do alone is, it at this time would be really nourishing for you. Um, I will say, I'm not here to tell you how you should live your life and go about it, but but Pisces deals with living alone. The 12th house, which corresponds to Pisces, is about solitude, of where you need to replenish and recharge your batteries and um, spend that time with yourself, and then going back and interacting with people, getting out in the world, doing things, particularly if they're on the practical plane. And so, now that I've spoken about that, I'm going to get into a couple aspects that will be occurring during this time. And the first of which is we have Venus sextile Pluto. So Venus is, at the very end of Pisces. Remember, it's moving into Aries. And this is actually going to be exact on February, I think, a little bit before this, new moon. I think February 19th is exact. And, so Venus and sextile with Pluto. Whenever two planets sextile each other, you have one planet in one sign of this element, which is either maybe, so Venus is in Pisces, Pluto in Capricorn, you have an earth and a water sign. And so, if you compare the different elements together, water and earth go together, and then air and fire go together. And when you have one planet in one sign of that element, say, again, Venus in Pisces, Pluto in Capricorn, but Pisces is water, Capricorn's earth, and they're not opposite one another. So if Venus were to be in Pisces, Pluto, and Virgo, that would be an opposition. They would form an opposition. If both Venus and Pluto would be at, the very end degree of Pisces and Virgo, Venus and Pisces, Pluto, and Virgo. But Venus is at the very end of Pisces. It is obviously faster moving than Pluto, and Pluto's very end degree, 29 degrees of Capricorn. It'll change signs in March 2023. And so both of these signs are meeting up and forming a sextile where these two can bond, compromise, where the positive energy is there. But what are we going to do with that? That's the sextile energy. And so Venus and Pluto is really about, we can take that Neptune energy of compassion and knowing someone on a soul level and really go deep into understanding and knowing that person on a deep, even, deeper level, true level of whom, we desire and of whom, we're connecting with, and the relationship is very profound and meaningful, where we're knowing them on, the deepest, probably most intimate level that we can get, and bonding and connecting in that kind of way. Because Venus is in relationships and Pluto is about going deep, understanding who someone really is, including their true motives, or what their what they want. in a way. And yeah, so that is the energy of Pluto, Venus sextile Pluto. And it can also deal with, sort of, I want to say a sexual kind of energy. And um, an energy where we really want to get into somebody, find out what's going on. And then we also have another sextile going on at the time of this new moon, which is Mercury sextiling Jupiter. And so Jupiter is about expansion and abundance and always shooting, since it rules Sagittarius, is about shooting that arrow up to new directions, exploring new terrain, and expansion of growing from where we are now and becoming more than we are now. That's what Jupiter deals with. And Mercury is about communication and thought and ideas. And so with Mercury sextile Jupiter, we can really, really think ahead or plan ahead for what we want. And there's an abundance, because Jupiter is abundance. We really feel abundant and open and excited and curious to explore new things, curious to go new places, read this new book, learn this new subject matter, travel to this new place that we've never gone before, um, and start this new relationship of where we can really be open and sociable, and conversations can be really stimulating and exciting and interesting at this time as well. So that is what's going on for that energy. So this is what the new moon in Pisces is about, plus Venus moving into Aries. I will plan upon posting and updating a video on one particular day in early March, where two events go on: a full moon in Virgo and Saturn moving into Pisces, which is going to be huge. And so I will be making some videos on those two things, really going in depth about what is going to be going on, particularly for Saturn and Pisces. I know someone very personally who has Saturn and Pisces, and will be going through his second Saturn return within the next 2.5 years, because Saturn is in a sign for 2.5 years. And Saturn in Pisces is about legitimizing and really getting honest and really becoming the master of yourself and what is your spiritual trajectory. Getting serious about the spiritual realms, your connection to a higher power, basically going to the intuition gym and cultivating, your intuition, being attuned to it. And where do we need to draw healthy boundaries as well with Saturn, because it's Saturn and, it's ruling boundaries, and Pisces is not boundaries. It's rather the opposite, because it is boundless. And it is about anything as possible, and there are no limits. And the full moon in Virgo deals with bringing to light where we need to organize, fix things, better ourselves, improve ourselves, purify ourselves the best that we can within what we can do, and also try to do the best we can do to improve our flaws and recognize where we have our flaws, maybe come into a better place of self-acceptance, of our flaws. And it's a time of care, mental and emotional self-help, care, cleansing, cleaning, details. These are what's going to be going on during that full moon in Virgo, with the sun opposite the moon, the same day as Saturn's changing signs. And so that sort of goes together. The sun opposite the moon, sun in Pisces, moon in Virgo, and Saturn which is really earthy and practical, like the sign of Virgo, and Saturn's really strong in the sign of Virgo, and Saturn moving into Pisces. So, it just, goes so well, and that synchronicity of those events happening on the same day is going to be really profound. And I'm excited to get into that and talk to you about what that's going to be about. But anyway, thank you for watching. Please subscribe, click the notification bell so you don't miss my future uploads. And when I'll be going live on the future, in the future, like I am now, click that like button so that other people can get access and see this content more, so that it gets out to more people. And also, I would encourage you to leave a comment over what you thought of this video, and how would you personally like my, what kind of astrology content do you want? And how would you like me to do these astrology forecast videos that I do, which I really enjoy doing for all of you? So you can let me know and give your suggestions over what you want, either video or a live stream, or just what do you want for these kind of videos. And that's sort of open-ended, but just give your suggestions about how I can change and maybe better, or add something new to these videos. So anyway, thanks for watching, and it will be a wonderful full moon, and enjoy. Hopefully this